13, can I get a motion on the CAO's report and action list? Councilor Martins.
I make a motion to receive CAO Bill McKennan's report for information.
All right, thank you for that. And with that, I'll turn it over to our CAO.
And through the chair, there's some recurring items dealing with year-end and audit and that mundane stuff. I will be presenting the town's capital plan to the county tomorrow afternoon. The good news is the pump that feeds the water reservoir is in the water as of yesterday and is pumping out and refilling the reservoir, so that's all good news story. I believe this is the earliest in the last 10 years to pump this been in the river. The other good news is the freshwater levels are probably the highest they've been for the last 10 years at this time of year. That being said, we'll still be dealing with the county on potential drought restriction strategies over the spring and later fall, summer months. And the auditors will be on site within the next 2 weeks or so, doing the 2023 fiscal year end audit. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions, comments on the report? Councilor Danaka.
Just a couple things on your action list. 176.23 and 318.23 says report to council in April, so that will be coming to us at our next council meeting.
I hope so.
Okay.
If I could just add some information on 318.23. Councilor Waco made a motion that I craft a resolution for the upcoming Alberta Municipalities Conference. I've contacted them, and there are similar motions that are still outstanding from previous conference years. So they may not accept that motion, but I'll be looking to facilitate it as best we can, but it may not be accepted as a valid resolution, given that there's a similar resolution still outstanding. So, and I'll report back on that as we have more information.
All right, thank you for that. Anything else? I'm glad to hear that the pump's in and working away. It's just a small pump, not the big pump at this point, right?
No, it's the big one.
Oh, the big one. Oh, wonderful. That's even better. All right, seeing no other questions, may I have a motion to receive the report for information. All in favor? Carried. Moving on then to item 14, we have a letter from Royal Purple Elks. Can we get a motion on this one? Councilor Dunn?
The council received this report for information, to provide direction. Oh, sorry, the council received this report for information and provide.
All right, Councilor Waco?
I wouldn't be opposed to us advertising this a little bit more. Put it on our sign. Put it in the, we got time, probably sneak it into the newsletter. I understand that, members of the Royal Purple have a pretty good in the red paper. Basically it comes down to, it'd be great to get a whole bunch of people coming to town for something. And I've got a whole bunch of crap that I gotta get rid of, so I'd like to have a whole bunch of people in town so that they can just take it off my hands.
All right, okay, our CAO wanted to comment.
council know, there isn't an RFD before you tonight on this issue, but staff are preparing an RFD to supplement their request to do a town-sponsored garage sale, if you want to look at it that way, at the arena for the June 1st date. So you may wish to hold this down, and hopefully that RFD will be at the next council meeting.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask about that, saying how can we help them, and that might be, a donation in kind of letting them use the, one of the arenas for that event would be good.
Well, then I think that, John's motion can still stand. We're receiving this information, and then the next council meeting, we get the RFP and we take it from there. Right?
Yes, yep, we certainly can, and I don't think anybody would object to advertising and promoting this event. No. I can do that. Okay, any other thoughts on this one? Seeing none, we had a report, or the motion received for information, all in favor? Carried. We had the letter from Minister Lowen. A motion on this? Councillor Martins?
I move that we receive Minister Todd Lowen's letter to Mayor and Council for information.
All right. Good information. We know that they're beefing up their firefighting efforts, which is good. Other than that, good. Any other comments on this? All in favor? Carried. We come in our upcoming meetings. We have a committee of the whole meeting coming up on Saturday. Everybody's got that? Good. Okay. And then we'll move on to our verbal reports. And we'll start with Councillor Daneka.
Other than the similar meetings, council budget that everybody's been at, I did attend the multi-sports registration. There was only about 8 organizations there. When I was there, unfortunately, there was no public, but I did talk to some of the event people there, the ball hockey, Shauna from baseball, and stuff. So I'm not sure the end result from that, how many people attended. And the only other thing that I attended was, along with the mayor, was the annual firefighters awards. It was a stellar event to celebrate our local community volunteers. Congratulations to Jennifer Anderson, who was firefighter of the year, David Martinson, who completed the NFPA 101 training, I believe it's called, and to, fortunately I can't remember his first name, but Mr. Willoughby, who was the recipient of the Tony Belli Award for merit and distinguishing conduct as a firefighter. Other than that, just we have the committee of the whole, followed by the gun show, following the weekend. Other than that, I move my report for information. Oh, the only other thing I'd like to say regarding the fire awards, if anybody has is available to attend next year, I suggest they try and make an effort to attend that. As Councillor Stenhouse had said at the last, that the more people and the more dignitaries there to celebrate the volunteer firefighters and their commitment to themselves and the group and to the community in town and out, is a truly great way to support that organization. I move my verbal report for information.
All right, anything for Councillor Tanaka? All in favor? Councillor Dunn?
I have no report.
All right. Councillor, or Deputy Mayor Martins?
Other than the same special meetings that council's attended and a pre-planning meeting for our agenda for the joint retention and attraction committee with the county, I have had no other meetings, so I have no report.
All right. To myself, I will echo what Councillor Tanaka said on the Firemen's Awards night. That was a great event. And I also attended the Alberta North Central Alliance, or ANCA, and there was a few things that were interesting in there, and that will be coming back to council in the future, so I'll give a bit of a heads up. Is that group thought that it would be a good idea to have a regional tourism group that looked after and tried to promote tourism within the whole region, and that, would be from this end of the lake all the way to the other end of the lake and out to Wabasca, and try to get sort of a regional group where you could get tourists that would come and maybe, start in Slave Lake, come down the lake, and then go somewhere else, so that they would come here for a series of events, not just come here to go fishing one day, but they go fishing one day and then maybe go horseback riding one day and do, a round dance another day, all of those things, and make sure we can sort of market and package it. They have a similar group up in Peace River, and they wanted to sort of model that in our region. And so they, ANCA told them to come up with some details, flush it out, see what it would cost, bring it back to our council so we can make a decision on whether we would like to participate in that kind of a regional board. And at this point, there was sort of, health funded based on your population on a sort of a per capita basis. So we'll see what that comes back and what that looks like. The other issue that we're facing with ANCA, and a big one, is we are running out of the grant that funded it and got a person working, a director working in there, and she's been doing a great job. But how are we going to keep that going when the grant runs out? First thing, she is looking for other grant dollars and may come up with some things. But there was also a proposal of maybe funding about sort of 30 hours a month from the base population that would always be there, or from all of the organizations that are involved in ANCA. And they were going to come up with a proposal that it could go to each of the participating municipalities to see if they were interested in doing that. Well, there was a bunch of other things in there. We had MLA Scott Sinclair was there. He was talking about some of the things from the province. Is that Bill 11? They're moving. They're pushing through to have the sheriffs have full powers, so that it would be the start of a provincial police force, or at least having a lot more people on the road that would have full powers instead of having just with their limited capacity. This would give them a lot more. He was stating that the RCMP is currently short 285 officers, and this would help fill, especially in some of the rural areas, according to him. He had mentioned that his assistant Chad has left for greener pastures, and so he's got sort of 3 people that he's looking at covering for him and as assistants for him. Wasn't all nailed down, but just wanted to give you a heads up on that. What else did he mention about? They are, over the summer, he was mentioning that they are hoping to have 15 ministers visit the region this summer. And the premiere in August. So that's something that you can sort of look forward to coming this summer. And he did say he'd give us any notice that he gets of when they were gonna be here. But he wasn't sure when that would happen.
Is that gonna be like all 15 at the same time?
No, they would be coming at different times. Yeah. And, yeah, I think with that, I'll end my report and move it for information unless there's any other questions. All right, all in favor? Carried. Councillor Stenhouse?
No report.
All right, Councillor Wakel?
Well, last Tuesday I had a library board meeting. Things are going pretty good at the library. I have musings of a library manager. It's several pages. I'm not going to read it all out here, but it talks about the struggles and the successes and the challenges that the library has, and it's a vital part of our community. It's not just a box with books. So then when I finished that meeting, I went over to the arena, called a hockey game, so I want to publicly congratulate the Highbury Red Wings for winning the championship and destroying my voice in the process. So congrats to them. And it's too bad Chris left, because I'm calling out the paper, because their editorial this week really pissed me off, in which he states, pretty sure Chris wrote this one, but he says that Councillor Weichel, Councillor Danak, and Mayor Panasic must be sitting in the back room laughing, knowing that the recall petition isn't going to get the signatures that it needs. Well, if you're watching this, Chris, that's bullshit, and I don't take that back. I've lost sleep over this. I've dedicated over half of my life to this community, and to have crap like that written in the newspaper, pure speculation. I gave my statement to the paper. There's a process in place, and I'm waiting for that process to play out to see what the next steps are. So instead of putting crap like that in there, maybe do some actual reporting. And move my report.
All right, any questions or comments for Councillor Wakel? Councillor Danaka?
Just regarding the library, how long was that survey up for, or is it done now?
Yeah, the survey is going to be up until the end of April, I believe is what we said.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? All in favor? Carried. And Councillor Yashisha?
Besides, I have some upcoming committee meetings.
All right, thank you for that. So at this, we'll take 10 minutes and then we'll move into our closed session after that. So.